Good morning. Welcome to Thinking is Contagious. I I watched some video. I didn't watch it live, but I watched the Joe Biden press conference, if you want to call it that. Whoever saw that, if they don't see the truth, they're blind. All I could think of was Weekend at Bernie's. Fumbling, bumbling, go nowhere, inane, inaccurate comments, lies, fabrications. He was a puppet up there. You could almost see the strings being pulled as he belched forward the rhetoric of the left, as he spewed the venom of the left, the lies. Trump let kids starve. The border crisis, there's not a crisis on the border. He's a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. He's a criminal. He is a cold-blooded, ruthless politician who realized that he and his son and his family was about to get found out for the treasonous fraud that they committed against this country with the Chinese, with the Russians. They were about to be found out. And he was also offered power and fame after 50 years of having done nothing as an elected official. They said, we're going to give you your 15 minutes of glory. We're going to protect your family name from being exposed for who you are, the mafia that you are, the mob that you are. We're going to do all those things, Joe, but in return, you will do our bidding. And that's precisely what you see. There's no way, okay, that man was elected President of the United States. There's no way that this was not a concerted effort to harvest and garner votes at no matter what cost. Notice what I am saying here before, because I know YouTube loves to label these things. There may have been 81 million votes, but those 81 million votes were gone out and bought and paid for. Okay? That's what this was, whether anyone wants to admit it or not. And when you see the performance yesterday, you realize very well. Anybody, any country that watched that yesterday knows that they can do whatever they want with the United States at this point. They know the United States is being led by a senile old man who's 78 years old. Is not old in this country, but he is mentally impaired at 78 years old. He has mental deficiencies. He was up there with his little cards. He said at one point, where are we? Where am I now? He would go off on tangents and not finish thoughts or statements. He looked pale and decrepit. Argue with me that it's only a matter of time before the praying mantis is unleashed. He's now backing off. He's backtracking even on the filibuster because they've told him, Joe, you're going to support eliminating the filibuster. Joe, you're going to support whatever we tell you you're going to support. Because if not, Hunter's going down. You're going down. Jim's going down. Jill's going down. You're all going down. And the more you cooperate and the longer you cooperate, the longer we'll let you play president. The longer we'll allow you to take out your little pens and sign executive orders and walk around and say, come on, man. Where's the I'm going to be the president for everyone, for all Americans. I want bipartisanship. This guy's a fake. He's a phony. And if you saw this press conference yesterday, you saw that on top of all those things, he's not all there. He cannot be the leader of the free world. He cannot be the president of the United States. He is completely incapacitated at this point. It was embarrassing. That was the president of the United States. It was embarrassing. There's never been an exhibition like the one that was put on yesterday. Now you know why they hide him. Now you know why they don't let him. By the way, he was instructed, given a list of reporters that he was to call on, and those reporters threw him the softball questions. They did not take him to task for any of his lies. If Trump had said that Obama let children die on the border, starve, what would have happened? And the lie that Joe says, and it's unchallenged. Everything he said yesterday was unchallenged. Where's the transparency of seeing what's going on in the border? And the praying mantis lays in waiting with that Joker laugh of hers and that smile. She looks just like the Joker. Every time they ask her a question that she feels threatened or challenged by, she starts to laugh. Read up psychological profiles and read up about psychology and read up about human behavior and see why people laugh nervously when they're asked something that they don't want to answer. This woman is poison. She's inept. She's there for only one reason, and Joe Biden said that why she was there, because it's a woman of color. That's it. I don't know if you heard, but there's a couple of legislators, and I'm not sure if they're senators, or I'm not sure who they are, but they said that, and they're Democrats. They said that they will not support any Biden appointees to any post unless they are people of diversity. In other words, if you're white, they won't vote for you. If you're a white man, they won't vote for you. Doesn't matter if you're the right candidate. It doesn't matter if you're the perfect candidate. It doesn't matter if you're the perfect person. You have to be a certain race, religion, creed, sexual orientation. This is the woke mentality. It's destroying this country. Absolutely destroying this country. You know, I look at Trump and I look at the Supreme Court appointees. I look at with a woman like Coney Barrett, and I say, you know what? That shows you what integrity is. That shows you what really doing your homework and due diligence to find the best candidate. And you know what? She's had a couple of critical votes come up, and she hasn't voted the right-wing way, or the Republican way, or the conservative way, whatever you want to label it. She's voted what she thought was fair, and I respect her for that. And only the nominees that are conservative vote fairly. Okay? The liberals on that court, on the Supreme Court, have an agenda, and nothing will get in the way of agenda, including the law. And they cover it up by saying it's their interpretation. They're not there. They're not there to give their agenda, to proffer their agenda, or to move forward their agenda. They're there to compare the Constitution with what they are passing judgment on. And they're not doing that. And they haven't done that. So I hope that you saw Biden yesterday. And if you did and you voted for him, shame on you. I hope you feel the shame that we all feel for telling the world, showing the world, look who the President of the United States is. A guy that if you took him out of that room where he had the press conference, turned him 4 or 5 times in a circle, and told him to go find his way to his office, he wouldn't even know how to do it. He wouldn't know where he was. That's the President of the United States. And they worried about Trump having the ability to push a button to send nuclear weapons. Could you imagine Joe Biden has that ability? Is there anything more negligent than giving a guy who can't remember for 2 minutes anything, has to have cue cards, forgets what he's talking about, forgets who he is? He says, the reason I'm running, at one point he said, the reason I'm running for what, Joe? You're the president already, in case you didn't know, in case you didn't realize that. A guy who says that has the capacity to launch nuclear weapons. Could you imagine if that was Trump, what they would be doing right now? Joe Biden deserves to be impeached because he's incapacitated, mentally incapacitated, and cannot be the president of the United States. And I'm sure that there are mental capacity standards that can be looked into to take this guy out of office. The only problem is that the praying mantis lies in wait. So it's up to us, people. 2022 midterms, clean house. Clean house. We are being led by a bunch of self-serving, power-hungry socialists who have no good intention for America, its population, their constituents, us, the taxpayer. This is all a power grab, money-hungry power grab by the left. It's a disgrace, and yesterday, a total embarrassment. All right, I ask you to go take a look at that video. I ask you to listen to that old man, and I ask you to tell me if he is not mentally incapacitated. Thanks.